Welcome to Florida Gators Live, episode number 55, and we're finally here. Florida has finally hired its next head coach after a month and a half or so since when
Yeah.
Billy Napier was fired. And, you know, when it happened and there was so much smoke around it, we all thought it was going to be Lane Kiffin and thought it'd be Lane Kiffin. We thought we were going to at least be in it with Lane Kiffin until the end. But with how things have went the last couple days, turns out it wasn't going to be Lane. And then it's like, okay, who's the next guy going to be? And you remember last week when it came out that Florida's meeting with John Sumrall. It was a Wednesday or a Thursday when it came out. I can't remember exactly.
It was a Wednesday.
And then,
I remember that specifically because I was on the road.
And then about 20 minutes later, it comes out that that meeting is canceled and John Sumrall has taken his name out of the head coaching race for the University of Florida. I just remembered that when I was like, I knew I was going to start with this, but that part kind of just clicked in my head about they on 3 saying that he had taken his name out of the head coaching race. I guess he didn't.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, I mean, no disrespect, but like On 3 was kind of off base. At least Florida's On 3 was kind of off base on a lot of the things that ended up happening with this search.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people just not necessarily in the loop on that one. Yeah, I mean, kind of a weird process to have it be like so lane centric for this long, and then it just kind of pivot to Summerall, and it's basically a done deal within 48 hours. Yeah, I mean, like, look, I think I know a lot of people are not happy right now. I don't really fall into that camp. Like, I think, I don't know. I don't know if we want to get into like our thoughts right now, like started off with that. But no, I mean, look, Florida has a coach, and I'm curious to see what he's gonna do. I think maybe wasn't the flashiest hire Florida could have made, but I think, I think it's one that could end up working. I'm not as down about it as a lot of people seem to be. I think there's definitely ways to kind of positively spin it and be optimistic about the future here.
Yeah, we're going to talk plenty about John Sumrall and the hire and maybe even some Lane Kiffin stuff that's come out because that's really wild info that's happened there. But let's kick off the show here. Jacksonville Jaguars, first place in the AFC South.
Yeah, that's
what
right.
a ride. You know what sucks? We'd be, we're tied. We have the tiebreaker right now. We still play the Colts twice and the Titans once, but we currently have the tiebreaker. We'd be clear of first place if we didn't blow a 19-point fourth quarter lead.
Yeah.
Or if you don't lose that game to the Bengals.
Or just didn't lose to Jake Browning. That's what I was about to say. Yeah.
I mean, Jake Browning's just our kryptonite. Like, I can't even blame him at that point. Like, we probably win that game if Joe Burrow doesn't get hurt.
Him and Davis Mills. Dude, these backup quarterbacks, man.
I mean, Davis Mills is playing good football, isn't he? Just playing good football now.
Maybe, but like of his he's not playing anymore, I don't think, right? But of his 6 wins as a pro, like 3 of them are against the Jags.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess he is just our kryptonite, but no, we'd be clear of first place. The Texans would have another loss because they're only a game behind us. So that's going to be interesting to come down there. But yeah, we're in first place right now and played a really good game today.
No, look, man, I like all things considered, I'm pretty happy with the way this weekend went. Florida gave FSU a fun win for Florida and just a miserable loss for Florida State. Jags beat the Titans, and for better or for worse, this coaching search circus is finally over. So I'm having a good Sunday.
Except for Penn State.
What's that?
I said except for Penn State.
I'm at our circus. I don't know what Penn State's going to do at this point. That one is interesting, but especially with Pat Fitzgerald going to Michigan State. I assume you saw that.
Yeah, so I went to have a lunch, Thanksgiving lunch on not Thanksgiving, obviously, but other people. And by the time that I went there and came back home, Michigan State had fired Jonathan Smith and hired Pat Fitzgerald. And I was like, how did I miss that? I was out, so I wasn't on my phone that much, but it kind of just happened in a blur.
No, so for my website, like I didn't have time to write up a Jonathan Smith fired post, and by the time I did, they had already hired Pat Fitzgerald, so I had to kind of do them all and do it all in one. So yeah, they knew who they wanted when they made that move.
Yeah, I thought Jonathan Smith was going to be a really good hire for Michigan State.
Yeah, I did too. That like sometimes these just don't work and you're really surprised. And that's one that I'm really surprised didn't work because he was a really good program builder at Oregon State.
It honestly all kind of comes down to the fact that Aiden Childs didn't work out.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
know what? I'm proud of myself because I just got it off the dome saying Aiden Childs right there.
Yeah.
History with Aaron Childs and Aiden Childs getting confused.
Yeah.
But no, I got it right. Knock on wood.
Yeah. We'll see.
Because now when we're talking later, I'm going to get it wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's fun. But Penn State, just real quick. I mean, who's the favorite? Because Bob Chesney might go to UCLA as well. I mean,
that's what it sounds like.
Josh Heupel randomly sparked up the odds to be the next coach at Penn State.
Did that happen? Is that real? I saw a little bit of
Kalshi's Kalshi.
Like, yeah. No, I'm saying, but that actually did happen. Like there was a surge in Heupel odds there.
Yep, he jumped to first place.
I mean, honestly, like
I think it'd be a good hire.
That wouldn't actually shock me. It'd be kind of a weird fit, but like Heupel looking for greener pastures wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, I think it would be a really good fit for them. I think it'd be a weird fit, but like if they're looking for an offensive guy, just like kind of even out what they did with James Franklin, I think it kind of works out, and I think it's better than a lot of the moves they were looking at with like Matt Rule and that obviously was ended a while ago, but like Matt Campbell and Kehlani Satake is the other name they're looking at.
Yeah,
I think that's interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. I'd be a little
surprised if he left BYU. Pretty sure it's his alma mater.
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain
that's
he's
what
LDS.
I was thinking.
So, money talks, obviously, but that might be a tougher place to lure him out of. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if they just promote the interim, Terry Smith.
Really?
I think that's very much. I mean, there's a faction of boosters, I'm pretty sure, that wants it.
That's almost. I mean, I feel like Durkin's. I was about to say that's like almost happened to Auburn with Durkin. I feel like Durkin's a level above Terry Smith.
No, I agree. I mean, Terry Smith's a Penn State lifer, though. Like, he's a former player, has been on staff there a really long time. So, like, I'm not saying it would be a good hire. I just, like, with what's left in the candidate pool, unless you've got a real surprise, you're about to pull him. And I don't think Kalen DeBoer's happening now, if it ever was. So unless they've got a real surprise candidate, I mean, I haven't heard a lot of Matt Campbell smoke. I don't know if they're actually still kicking the tires on that one.
I don't think so. Because, it's been a while since I heard anything about Matt Campbell.
Yeah. So I don't know what their options are at this point. But, I mean, look, we said, there were more jobs open than good candidates. Like, multiple teams were going to end this cycle disappointed. Arkansas is clearly one that did.
Yeah.
I mean, Florida did to an extent, but.
It's funny because Florida fans are the only ones that don't like the hire.
Yep.
Everybody else is like, that's an elite hire for Florida.
Ole Miss and Auburn fans, or Ole Miss, Auburn, and Kentucky fans are all crashing out right now because they all wanted Sumrall badly.
I think Auburn kind of got the worst. I don't think Golish is going to work out there. That's not a hot take because a lot of coaches don't work out, but
the clamoring I've seen from Florida fans saying like Florida hired the wrong G5 coach. I don't get that at all, man. I don't get that at all. I think
the only reason they say that is because Golish is an offensive guy.
Yeah, but I almost think like we just had an offensive guy, and you guys got mad that like not you guys, like I did too. I'm not like saying I'm above that. Like I agree, I was with you, but like we all got mad that like he wouldn't give up autonomy on offense. At least in Sumrall's case, he's going to go hire an OC and be like, have at it. And hopefully that's the right hire. But I don't know. Like, I don't know if you want to hire a coach for like schematic reasons right now, especially like.
Yeah.
I mean, because I don't know if Golash calls plays. I think he does.
He does.
Yeah.
Arkansas fan. I really wanted Sumrall. Sumrall is a dog.
Join the club, brother. Like a lot of people wanted him.
Just not Florida fans.
Yeah, just not Florida fans. Which again, I mean, I understand the reasons why, but we talked about this last night. I think it's a little short-sighted. I think the Napier comparisons are understandable, but a bit lazy.
I think you're already seeing Florida fans be like starting to get off the high of Kiffin, and coming back down to earth a bit of realizing like, okay, I can see what this guy is. It's really just the offensive stuff, and I mean, I also look at it. Summerall's team averaged 35 points per game last season.
Yeah.
I also kind of look at it. An example I give Mike Elko. I mean, I've talked about Mike Elko a lot, and at Duke, and I thought it was a great fit for him. And a lot of people have said it wasn't. And I look at Elko's offense at Duke and how it was a run heavy ball. I mean, I'm pretty sure I talked about last night where it was ball control, wind the clock down, let the defense play hard and physical close games there. But then you look at Texas A&M where they have a high flying offense. Like, it's not Sumrall controlling the offense. He just hands it off to his offensive coordinator. So it's really just about does Sumrall hire the right offensive coordinator? Which I guess we can just get into it right now.
Yeah, we kind of have already gotten into it.
Yeah.
So we might as well.
Yeah, John Sumrall officially hired as the head coach at the University of Florida. And I know on paper, depending on the paper you look at, you're going to look at a G5 coach from the state of Louisiana who's played a lot of close games, has a similar record to what Billy Napier had at Louisiana, and just be like, oh, it's got the second Billy Napier. We've got Billy Napier 2.0. But, you can look at any little thing, and, of course, you can nitpick and do that. But I think there's a lot of reasons to believe that John Sumrall is going to be a lot better than what Billy Napier was. Yeah. I think, for one, Billy Napier was historically bad here at the University of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
The odds that's going to be repeated is pretty unlikely. It's been since the 50s.
And for reasons, and I think the key aspect of that is he was historically bad for reasons that are like extremely specific to him. Like, not systemic things. It's not like Mullen where the recruiting operation was just a mess. Like, a lot of the things, the things you want about the program were in place. It was Billy's inability to manage games and get the offense where it needed to be. So I think that's a key element. Like, it's not just that Napier wasn't the right coach for the job. Napier actively harmed what could have been a better team than it was.
Yeah. I think Sumrall is going to be inheriting a much better situation than what Billy Napier inherited when he came to Florida. Now, sure. I think the fan buy-in was higher when we hired Napier than it currently is for Sumrall.
Oh,
I think what matters, what really matters here is going to be the booster buy-in. The NIL we're going to give to Sumrall and the coaches we're going to go and get, whether Sumrall can go get the guys he wants to get. I mean, we all have our opinions on if we think whoever he hires is good or bad, but there is something to that better coach making more money. So they have to give him enough money to go and hire the better coach if that's who he wants to get.
Yeah, that's really important. Staff pool, NIL, all that. Like, I mean, I think, you're saving money on this hire in the sense, at least in the terms of the base salary. $7.5 million a year reported. With incentive for reaching the playoff. What's that?
I'm glad it wasn't 10. There was a report that it might have been 10, and that would have been kind of crazy.
And considering we have the incentives for the playoff structure or for the playoff appearances, I would have to imagine they kind of put in a little bit of a smarter buyout mitigation offsetting language in this deal. I don't know that. That's just an assumption. I hope that's correct, because if not, that's pretty bad practice. But
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think with the money you're saving here, you would hope you're still willing to go as all in terms of NIL and stuff as you would have been for Lane Kiffin, or at least close to it, because ultimately that more than who the coach is going to determine how successful a program can be. You can have the greatest coach on earth, but if you gave Saban the 13th best budget in the SEC, I'm not saying he's going to be terrible, but he's not recreating the Alabama results in this day and age. So, I think, give him the support. And if he fails, let him fail because he failed, not because he was failed by the university, the athletic department, the NIL collective.
And with John Sumrall, you're getting a guy who's mostly had ties to the SEC area and the South. He played college football at Kentucky, which I know with Billy Napier, that was a guy. Was Billy from Georgia or South Carolina?
Born in Tennessee, right? Raised in Georgia.
Georgia, okay. So you're getting a guy from Georgia, and how quickly he was at the University of Georgia right after being fired. Yeah. It's like, why are we getting a Georgia guy? Will Muschamp obviously went to Georgia, Georgia guy right there as well. McElwain. Did McElwain have any ties? I mean, he was at Alabama for like a couple of years.
No, McElwain's like a West Coast guy. McElwain's from Montana. And coached at
McElwain
Eastern
was kind
Washington.
of a wild card. He was kind of a wild card hire. But when you look at Sumrall, played at Kentucky, outside of 4 years at San Diego, he then went to be the co-DC at Tulane for a couple of years, then went to Troy to be an assistant linebacker coach, then went to Ole Miss, then he was at Kentucky for a while where he was really good at Kentucky. I mean, their best years at Kentucky's football program were while he was their linebacker coach and co-DC. So, I mean, there might be something to that. And then he went to Troy. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. No, I was just going to say, I would add that during his time at Troy, his initial assistant stint at Troy, I believe he was also associate head coach.
Yeah, associate head coach right here. What does that necessarily mean? Like assistant?
That's the basically like the right-hand man of the head coach. Usually it's kind of like someone who has like a bigger role in like kind of managing the staff day to day on behalf of the head coach. So I think like that is important in the sense that it's the closest you can get to kind of having a feel for what head coaching duties look like without actually having been a head coach or an interim head coach.
Is that a normal thing programs have, an associate head coach? Do we have
I think Ron Roberts is like the closest. I think the executive head coach is like the closest thing we have to that. But yeah, that is very regular. I would say most programs have someone with that title or a similar title.
Yep. And then, so after he left Kentucky, he went to be the head coach at Troy. Troy was 5-7, if I'm not mistaken, the year prior to Sumrall. Yep. And according to many people I've heard, they were in like a really bad place. And year one, he took him to that. He won the Sun Belt. Didn't he win the Sun Belt both years? Yep. Year one went 12-2, won the Sun Belt. And then in year two, 11-2, also won the Sun Belt before going to Tulane. Now, at Tulane, he inherited a much better situation where Willie Fritz brought Tulane on the come up. Michael Pratt was a great thing for them. They beat USC in
won a New Year's Six Bowl, Cotton Bowl.
The Cotton Bowl. So, Willie Fritz obviously brought that Tulane program. He's the one who rebuilt it. And then Sumrall sustained it, which sometimes can be just as hard as rebuilding a program. So he went and did that, brought him to the American Championship last year. And something that I've seen a lot of people talk about, you look at Golish and Silverfield, where these guys, they have great quarterbacks. Byron Brown, probably a top 3 quarterback in the American. And then who's the Memphis quarterback? Brendan Lewis. Brendan Lewis. I was thinking Sullivan, who's a backup for Tulane, but Brendan Lewis, who's also probably a top 4, top 5 QB in the American. And last year, Tulane had Derry Mensah, who probably the best quarterback in the conference last year. Transfers to Duke, where
he's been great.
Duke led him to the ACC championship.
I mean, Duke's not great, but they have a mostly successful year, but he has been great. Like he has had a very nice year at Duke.
I think he's like 22 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, like
something like that. Yeah, he's led a very nice passing game there. They're getting their money's worth on that transfer.
And so this year he brings in Brendan Sullivan, who was from Northwestern, if I'm not mistaken.
Brendan Lewis was at Nevada. Oh, sorry,
no, Brendan Sullivan.
Geez, good question. I don't know.
Brendan Sullivan I'm pretty sure he was at Northwestern. The game log split stats. Yeah, he was at Northwestern, and then he was at Iowa, and now at Tulane, where he was originally brought in to be the starter. But then there was the whole BYU Jake Ritzloff thing, and I never thought Ritzloff was that great of a quarterback.
No.
Like, they won games, and Ritzloff was winning a lot of those games on those final drives. But outside of that, it's kind of like Tebow at the Broncos, where they were winning games, but it was really bad, and then just Hail Mary prayer stuff in the final drive to win those games. And he brings in Ritzloff, and the team does better than last year, where they end up going 10-2, and they're going to play in the American Championship against North Texas, who head coach just took the Oklahoma State job. So that's going to be an interesting dynamic there, and the winner probably goes to the playoff. But it's like a guarantee winner goes to the playoff in that game. So, but what my point is, he won at a high level in the American without a star quarterback. When you look at USF, I already said it, and then North Texas, even Drew Mestemaker, like a lot of times you see these guys at the lower levels, they have these elite quarterbacks that they're kind of not necessarily banking on, but like they're winning with them, and we don't know if they can win without them. Kind of a point a lot of people make about with Brent Key and Haynes King, where if you take away Haynes King, is Brent Key having this success? So it's one of those things that you look at as a positive, and it's kind of weird because a lot of people are pointing it out. Tulane hasn't been elite on either side of the ball this year, but they're still 10-2. They're still going to they win the regular season title. I don't know how the tiebreaker, if they're first or what, but or if that even, it doesn't really even matter because it's all about the championship game. But end up making tying for first at worst there in the American. So he gets a better team, just building the program and not a player.
Yeah. No, and on the Retzlaff thing, I mean, not only is he not like a great quarterback, he got there in like August. Like they're winning games with a quarterback.
Yeah, it was late July.
Yeah, I mean, they're winning games with a quarterback who showed up right before fall camp. Or maybe even during fall camp. I don't know if it had started yet. But
and I'll also say their 2 losses are to Ole Miss, which is at Ole Miss. Like that's an excusable loss there, Tulane. And to they lost at UTSA. Not a good showing from them, but only one team's won at UTSA since 2021. Like
I was about to say, they had
Jet
a 25 game
program.
They actually, that streak snapped yesterday. They lost to Army, but
they lost that.
Yeah, they lost to
so
Army.
Now two teams.
Prior to losing to Army, they had a 25 game. They had a 25 game home winning streak prior to losing to Army.
Hey, I mean, that's our armed forces. We salute them.
Yeah, they got the win over Duke. They beat Darien Mensa and Duke earlier this year, and Northwestern. They have 2 power conference wins this year. And by the way, Northwestern's solid, and Duke's playing for an ACC title. So I mean,
did Northwestern make a bowl, or did they finish?
They did. They're 6-6. They did.
So yeah, they beat a bowl team in the Big Ten. They beat they get it if Duke wins the ACC championship. They'll beat the ACC champ. I mean, we'll make our picks later on, but he's built a program.
I want to address the. Oh, sorry. I just wanted to address this comment from Brian.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's a great point. Or sorry. This one.
Yeah,
that's a great point because you got to remember this is a guy coaching in the G5. Like his players get poached. Mekhi Hughes, who was one of the best Group of 5 running backs in the entire country last year, goes to Oregon, doesn't play, like re-enters the portal like 4 games into the year. That did not work out at all. But they lost him. He was great last year. So like
they also lost.
He lost his quarterback and his running back to the portal, and he's still patching together an offense that's not just working.
What's his name? It's 2025, 2024. Mario Williams, former 4-star, 1,000-yard receiver. They also lost him. And I mean, and they lost. They had an NFL. They have an NFL D lineman from that team as well. Like they lost some great players. And he won he won more games this year. And that's just a shout out to him.
I mean, look, getting a guy who wins games is huge. I mean, I hope he understands. Look, from the quote he said, like, was about let's go get an elite OC. I understand Florida needs an explosive offense. Good. Like, I'm glad. Like, I want a coach that knows how to win, understands kind of the bespoke, things that each fan base wants. He knows Florida fans want offense. Like, go deliver, go get a good OC. But ultimately, you want a coach who knows how to win and who's adaptable. And everything I've seen from him, that seems to be the case. So,
I just noticed. I didn't realize this. Mekhi Hughes ran for 1,400 yards last year.
Dude, yeah, he was insane. He was like, if he wasn't the nation's leading rusher, he was up. I mean, he wasn't ahead of Genty, but like he had to have been up there.
Oh yeah, Genty. Of course, Genty was gonna take that spot. 2024 leading rushers NCAA. Let me see. Got to be second. Like,
if he wasn't, no way he was up there. Dylan Sampson was up there too. Dylan Sampson ran for a lot of yards.
Okay. Oh, there were so many good running backs. Holy crap. So, GT, Cam Scadaboo, of course, Omarion Hampton, Bryson Daly, the quarterback for Army, Trey Stewart at Jacksonville State, RJ Harvey, Caleb Johnson, Taj Brooks, Dylan Sampson, then Mekhi Hughes.
Wait, so Jacksonville State's had like one of the nation's leading rushers 2 years in a row under 2 different staffs. That's crazy. Because Cam Cook this year.
Yeah, Cam Cook leads. He leads the nation right now.
That's crazy.
Wait, we also have to count in the fact Tennessee played an extra game. No, because Tennessee didn't play in the SEC championship games, and no. But Arizona State played an extra game, so did he wasn't gonna pass either of this. Okay, so he finished 10th. So yeah, I mean, Jesus, like Mekhi, I didn't realize he went for 1,400 yards.
Yeah, he was great. I mean, they lost a lot of what made them tick. Like, I understand the criticism that, like, last year was a drop-off from where they were the prior year under Willie Fritz. 100%. That's fair. they did lose a lot. Like, I think Fritz poached a decent amount of those players and staff when he left to go to Houston. I mean, look, like, again, there's no given. And I don't think even Lane Kiffin was like a given in the sense. I think he's a given that Lane Kiffin probably would have come here and won games. I don't think it's a given that he would have lived up to the expectations that Florida fans had for him, but this is always a gamble. There's no sure things. So I understand the uncertainty, like the red flags. I have them too. I have my concerns about this hire. I have my reasons. I wonder whether it will work in the long run, but I also think there's a lot of things to like about John Sumrall, his track record, his experience in the SEC. And like, I think to me, the thing that's most just telling is the accounts of like former players and former players that played under him. The coaches he's worked with. I mean, they're not, they're praising his passion, his knowledge of X's and O's. I think like the comparisons to Billy end with like their background, because I think personality wise, he's a very different guy.
Yeah, especially we lost one player in Phil. I mean, they didn't lose just one player. Like Jared Verse was a very good player as well. It's like,
yeah. And also, I mean, I don't know if it's fair to say they fell apart. I mean, they weren't great in those 2 games, but they lost their entire team for the Georgia game. Like that was all those guys were gone for the Georgia game. So
absolutely. Is there anything else? I guess I'll say Summerall's 42-11 as a head coach. Obviously, 1-1 bowl games. We beat him last year. Wait, how is he only 1-1 in bowl? Oh, because he's not coaching a bowl this year, and he didn't coach a bowl his last game at Troy. That makes sense. 2-time Sun Belt champion, 2-time West Division. Once, yeah. So, anything else we should hit on before we hit our next segment?
I have 2 things.
We'll talk about it a bit more later.
One's a statement, one's a question for you.
Okay.
I'll start with I'll hit you with the question. The question is a better place to start. What do you want to happen on Friday night? What are you rooting for on Friday night?
That's a great question, actually. I was thinking about this myself. I forgot to bring it up. So here's the thing. Signing day is Wednesday. It's Wednesday through Friday, technically, but it's mostly Wednesday. We're going to talk about recruiting, but it doesn't matter what happens Friday night with recruiting now. So the next thing you got to worry about is transfer portal opens. I mean, the transfer portal opens up for players in 5 days. So on Thursday, players will be able to enter the transfer portal. Now, I know Sumrall is going to be in Gainesville tomorrow, 3:45 for his press conference. And then we'll see how much time he spends in Gainesville, how much time he spends in Tulane's in New Orleans, right?
Tulane's in New Orleans.
So, we'll see how much time he spends in New Orleans. So it's like, I feel like the players are going to stay or not, no matter that game. So I guess I'd rather want to see him win, because the portal doesn't even open up until January. Is it 5th or 4th or
January
something like
2nd.
that?
January
2nd. No.
He would have to win 2 games. They'd have to win 2 games in the CFP for it to become a conflict. Or yes, 2 games in the CFP for it to become a conflict. Yeah.
And I know he's going to be pulling double duty. Plus, there's a 2-week break before he even has to coach in the conference in the college football playoffs. So he'll have plenty of time to make hires, to assess the roster, and figure out where he needs to and where he doesn't need to go in the portal. So I'd like to see him win that game. Obviously the deal's already signed, and what happens is what happens. But I think I'd like to see him win that game and make the playoff, and especially then we can talk to LSU fans, be like, "Hey, my coach has coached in the playoffs. Yours hasn't."
Yeah, no, I agree here. I think I'd like to see them come out. Look, letting him have his third conference title in 4 years as a head coach. Yeah. Also, yeah. Thank you, chat, for that handling that one. But no, I mean, I'm kind of with you. I think I'd like to see him come out and be successful, win a championship.
What are you talking
about? This response to there's never been a G4, G5 go on to be successful to P4 school to this date. Obviously, Signetti is the clear argument against that. I mean, there's also depends how you define success, but I mean, Eli Drinkwitz, there's a lot of Lane Kiffin. Wait, Lane Kiffin. I guess if
Urban
you count
Meyer?
that's probably not that's not fair to count Lane Kiffin, but yeah, Urban Meyer. There's a bunch. I'm trying.
Josh
to
Heupel, I considered successful.
Yeah, 100% that's successful. Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends where your bar for success is, but yeah, there's plenty of examples of that. So, but and then I'll talk about this. Cade Bell. I mean, I mean, that's a real possibility. I think, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't look. They had a Miami result. They're Pitt. It's Miami. Cade Bell has done some really nice things schematically. He's developed multiple good quarterbacks. I think Florida could do better, frankly. I think there's guys I would have ahead of Cade Bell on my list, but he's up there for sure. He's up there.
A name, Brian DeBolt.
That's the one I've heard a lot too, especially with, we didn't even talk about it, the GM hire that has been made.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we didn't even think about that.
Yeah, but, Dave Caldwell, formerly of the Jaguars, formerly GM of the Jaguars, currently personnel executive with the Philadelphia Eagles, coming in to be the GM. Little unclear what that means because the role of a GM and where it sits in the org chart kind of depends on the school. I don't really know. I don't know if you have any insight on that.
Polk, to my understanding, Nick Polk is being demoted.
Okay. My question also, is Caldwell
Utah wasn't power. Utah was in the Mountain West
or WAC. Either the Mountain West or WAC. I think
yeah.
Mountain West. Yeah.
So I mean, again, we've talked about that before and discussed like, is it not? I mean, Utah was a high level team there, so it's like, but I could have considered Utah a power conference team back when Urban Meyer was the coach there.
No.
And we have the big problems in offense. So what did we do? Go and hire a DC head coach. I'll also say, you look at some of the better offenses. Texas A&M, Mike Elko, as I mentioned, Texas A&M's offense is one of the best in the country. Notre Dame's Marcus Freeman, defensive coach. Notre Dame has one of the best offenses in the country. Like, if you make the right OC hire, having a defensive coach really doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, he just has to nail the OC hire, and if he doesn't, it's probably not going to work for the same reason that Muschamp didn't work. But I mean, I think you gotta see who the guy hires. I mean, if he hires Brian Daboll, who was a successful college OC, and then say what you will, but I mean, still had pretty good offenses with the Giants. I mean, I don't think Daniel. I mean, in spite of what the first half
for not turning Russell Wilson into the best quarterback in the country this year.
Yeah, and I mean Daniel Jones. Regardless of what happened earlier this year, earlier in the first half of the year, I still don't. I don't think Daniel Jones is like an incredible player, and he's still got some decent play out of him. So, yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, I mean, I just nailed the OC hire. It really comes down to that. But like again, I don't kind of going back what I said earlier. I don't know if you necessarily want because like if you get the Golesh, like he is your offense. Like it's Billy-esque in that sense. I mean, it's a better offense than Billy's, but the buck stops with him on offense. And would Golesh give up play calling duties? I don't know, but we know the stats on the fact that play calling head coaches very rarely win championships these days. So,
yeah,
I mean, that's kind of where I'm at.
Like, I would have taken Jed Fish over these guys, but
I think Fish is safer. I think Sumrall is the higher ceiling hire.
That's fair. I think Fish is more exciting as well.
I think Sumrall personality-wise is more exciting. I think Fish resume-wise is more exciting.
I think the response from Gator fans would have been better to Fish than it, like yesterday especially. I mean, when everyone was commenting, like, if Fish was the rumored name, I can't guarantee it, but like I based on how people responded to Sumrall originally and the comments that were left and people I've talked to saying they'd rather Fish, like I bet the reception would have been a lot better, especially considering he's a Gator alum.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think that's probably fair. And then we'll hit this last question here. Are Gator fans? Am I missing the? Is that a Louisville fan? That's Louisville, right?
Honestly, can't tell. That might be. It looks like a soccer jersey. That looks like a soccer.
Yeah, that might be a soccer jersey. But yeah.
But to answer the question, I'd say not really. Overall, probably. I think more disappointed. Like, I don't think it's as much about Sumrall. I think it's more just about people spending 5-6 weeks getting excited about Lane. Which actually leads me to the statement, the second part of what I wanted to say, the statement, which is, I know this probably is going to sound like copium because Florida didn't get Lane. I don't know, guys. The way this played out in the last 24 hours with Lane, I kind of am glad Florida avoided that circus, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't know if Sumrall is going to work out. We might be right back here in 3 years. I'm not saying that. But I do think that in 5 years, we'll look back, 5 or so years, we'll look back and be like, probably for the best that Florida whiffed on Lane Kiffin. That's how I feel. And if you guys disagree, that's fine. But that's just kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you right there. Like, if we hired Kiffin, I'd be up here talking all that trash, saying we're winning
100%,
everything.
100%. I acknowledge that.
With all the stuff that's coming out, I mean, I feel like LSU and Kiffin's either going to gel perfectly or it's just going to become very, very bad.
I'm just imagining their administration, if it's like game week and he's like tweeting random stuff from his dog's account and then they like lose to Alabama. I'm just trying to like imagine how that would go down. And I don't think it would go down very well.
Also, I see a very possible world where if LSU and Kiffin are at the point where they have to fire Kiffin, they have ways to fire him with cause. Like they tried to do with Brian Kelly.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know you're
better
on
watch yourself, Lane. Better watch yourself, Lane.
Like, I assume you've seen all the stuff happening with the Ole Miss fans, and I won't get into that, but it's probably only going to be 10 times. You know, hey, maybe that's changed. Maybe that's the old Kiffin. You know, maybe he hasn't done that since getting back with Layla, but like, we're not here to comment on that.
Yeah.
One last thing I'll say. Byron Hardman, Bam Hardman, the defense, the outside linebacker coach for Tulane, former Gator player. I know here, Brian Fisher said it. Bam Hardman for linebacker coach. I wouldn't be surprised. I know Heisman tweeted about it. So, yeah, I could see that happening. Hopefully he's a bit better than Mike Peterson. That's what I'd hope.
Yeah.
You know, we've discussed our displeasure with Peterson's time here.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, I think I would like to see him not bring his entire staff. I think there's a couple that it'd be fine, but I'd like to see him branch out, bring in some experience, and at least like just kind of, I think that would demonstrate, and we'll get into this more later, but I think that would kind of demonstrate like that he understands I'm at another level now. I need to operate like I'm at another level now.
And because you left this comment a couple times here, John Sumrall is the Dan Campbell of college football. I feel like that's like Dan Lanning.
I was about to say, I think personality-wise, he's like a more reserved Dan Lanning. I called him Dan Lanning light earlier today, and I think that is – I can see the Dan Campbell stuff too. But I think he's kind of a psycho in the way that Dan Lanning's a psycho. Not as much. He's not as animated.
Yeah.
But I think he's kind of got that intensity, which, look, that's something Billy Napier didn't have. And I'm not saying that's like a personality flaw. There's different ways to, different styles of being a good coach. But I think that's something that, especially as we continue to fall short of expectations, I think Billy Napier's kind of laissez-faire nature was one of the things that rubbed people the wrong way about him.
JLB, I'm willing to give him a chance. I'm not overwhelmed by the hire. If Urban and old ball coach are behind it, I'm happy. Anyone is better than Billy, the true blue bell Napier. Don't know why I had such trouble reading that right there.
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, I think we both said this. I definitely said this, that like ultimately all the list of names that popped up when Florida fired Billy Napier would be upgrades over Billy Napier. Pretty much all of them. And this is one that I also think is an upgrade over Billy Napier. Like, I think you can be, you can be questionable about the hire, but I think acting like this, like, people calling him like great value Billy Napier, like, guys, like, I think I don't think that's a fair way to look at it.
Oh, looks like USF has already made its new coaching hire, the Kennesaw State coach, Jerry Mack.
Wow, they poached him after 1 year. Wow.
Former he's Jags in the CUSA championship game. Wow.
Yeah. He was the Jags running backs coach last year, I want to say.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He was really good. Really good first year. That's a bummer for Kennesaw, though, because he had a really nice year there.
I was hoping that USF would do it and go John Gruden.
Yeah.
That would be the funniest thing ever.
That would be pretty funny. I think Gruden thinks he's above a job like that, though, to be honest with you.
Probably, but it's also going back to Tampa. I mean, I don't know if he's fond of his time at Raymond James or not. I mean, he won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
There's, but so, and it's probably the same fan base. I mean, less, but like, I don't know. Oh, this isn't official. Okay, you can ignore that. That might not be the case. Sorry, I jumped the gun there. I don't want to. That might not happen. Okay.
Okay.
That would make sense because that happened really fast. Because if Auburn won the Iron Bowl, Durkin was getting the job. I heard this morning that they thought he was going to be getting the job anyways. So that happened really quick for Golesh to go from. I mean, Golesh was probably going to Arkansas if he didn't go to Auburn. So that probably. Okay. We'll see.
I mean, if you asked me when I woke up this morning, I would have probably bet that that Auburn would have promoted DJ Durkin, to be honest with you.
That's what I was hearing.
Yeah.
And JLB, Brian DeBull and or like Cade Bell for OC, and we'll see. It's too early to tell at this point. And DC, the home run hire is Blake Baker. He's close with Sumrall, but it seems like nothing official. But it seems like he's probably going to Tulane or staying at LSU.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a massive coup. If Lane wants to retain, if he doesn't get a head coaching job and Lane wants to retain him and you pull him, that is a massive coup. I don't really expect it, but man, that would be an early statement from John.
Well, I've heard Sumrall and Baker are close.
It wouldn't shock me if they are. They kind of have similar backgrounds. I'm sure they're familiar with each other. I'm just saying he's already at LSU. If the new staff and Lane want him there,
they played at Tulane together. No, what am I saying? No, they didn't. What am I saying? He didn't play at Tulane.
He didn't play at Tulane. Yeah, Sumrall went to Kentucky. Yeah.
Sumrall. Baker played at Tulane. I'm not sure where they would have been close at, but
is Baker part of that Troy group? Because like Sumrall, Neil Brown, and Gerard Parker are all we're all tight at Troy. They all coached under each other. Okay.
He was at Louisiana Tech. He was the DC for Louisiana Tech at that time.
Okay.
And then Miami, then LSU, then Missouri, then back to LSU.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll see what defensive names are brought up. I mean, that's the thing with hiring a cheaper coach. Maybe you get it. Maybe you can go after a splash DC. Maybe Durkin isn't retained. Bring Durkin back to Florida. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know. Okay, I know there was some reports that Durkin and one of the reasons Sumrall didn't go to Auburn was because of Durkin, but I haven't had that confirmed.
Yeah, I mean, just in general, it's hard for me to imagine Auburn, which I think otherwise handled well, would be nuking potential hires because they demand that DJ Durkin stay on staff. Maybe. I'm a little skeptical about that.
Yeah, but
Michael, you're absolutely right, my friend. No one cares what Feinbaum says.
What did Feinbaum say?
He was critical of the hire. I think he might have also called out Scott Strickland, which I'm still anti-Scott. We do care. I think Scott, this doesn't change that me being generally optimistic about this hire doesn't change that I think Scott is not very good at his job. But that doesn't mean, you can get good results from bad process. And frankly, this was a better process than the Napier process still, all things considered. I mean, they interviewed a dozen candidates. That's 11 more than they interviewed for when they hired Napier.
Yeah, it really is. But no, we're going to talk a bit more about the John Sumrall and what he needs to do to succeed, specifically about the coordinators, maybe roster retention and replenishment and what he needs to do recruiting-wise. But we'll talk about that a little bit later on.
Yeah.
Feinbaum is an old crackhead. I mean...
No comment.
Mike, Strickland has destroyed UF football. I mean, it's gotten worse under Strickland
when he got here.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, it has. The Mullen year better than the tail end of Foley. I don't know.
Yeah.
Has it gotten worse? The lows have been lower. But do you think
lows
the program right now is in a worse spot than it was in 2016? I don't know.
I think I need to see what this booster buy-in for Sumrall is.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is something we'll talk about later on as well. But No, let's do this quickly. Let's do our predictions here. So going into last week, I trailed you by 7 games. I ended up going 9-4. You went 8-5. So I still trail you by 6 games. And we have, how many games is it to pick here? 4 plus 5, 9 games. So 9 games
8,
to predict
right?
here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 9.
Oh, okay.
And speaking of Kennesaw State and Jacksonville State, for that matter, Kennesaw State goes to Jacksonville State. Jacksonville State, a 1.5 point favorite. Who do you got?
Googling to confirm that I am right here, that these two played in the regular season and Jack State won. Yes, they did. I think Jacksonville State's been the better team this year in general. Kennesaw State's having a good year, but Jack State's been better. And when they played in Jacksonville, Alabama, which I think it's where that is, they won by 9. I mean, I'll go Jacksonville State here. I don't feel great about it, but I think they're the better team.
So I can pick 3 different games to tie. If we tie, I think we'll have to figure out some tiebreaker. So do I play for the tie or do I play for the win? Let me double check something real quick, because that one, those are 3 games right there where I won't be picking that team. So I got to pick Kennesaw State here if I want to have a chance to win. So give me Kennesaw State. And then this one I'll pick first. Troy at James Madison. James Madison's a 22.5 point favorite for a reason. They still have playoff hopes on the line. Give me James Madison, the Dukes. And James Madison kind of like a Tulane, a worse Tulane, where they just keep finding great coaches.
Yeah. I mean, you could argue better. You could argue a better Tulane.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Just lower level conference.
Yeah, lower level conference, but better specifically at finding really good head coaches. Yeah, I mean, JMU's great. They're a wagon. They've had a couple close calls in conference play. But the Sun Belt West, for those who didn't follow, was a mess this year. It was Troy and Southern Miss and Arkansas State all trying very hard to not win that division. Someone ultimately did, and it was Troy. Yeah, I got James Madison here. I think they're going to be fine.
Oh, so Old Dominion's in the same, is it? Because Old Dominion is the second best team in the Sun Belt easily.
Yeah, they're in the East. The East is a lot better than the West.
Yeah.
Or at least the top of the East is better than the West.
Yes. If it was Old Dominion versus James Madison, maybe it's something you talk about a bit closer, but
well, they played and Old Dominion got kind of killed, I'm pretty sure, when they played. Pretty sure James Madison rolled them when they played in like October or something like that.
They did not play.
They had to have. They're in the same division. Are you sure?
Oh, wait. Oh, wait, I'm looking at Troy. What am I doing?
Yeah, they won. Yeah, James Madison beat them 63-27.
Okay, well, hey, we're taking James Madison. No reason to discuss this further. Both got the same pick there. North Texas at Tulane in New Orleans. Both teams have head coaches now going to the Power 4. I mean, I think it was a great hire for Oklahoma State to get Eric Morris.
Home run.
And
in my opinion.
The semantics of I think North Texas is the better. Do I think North Texas is the better team? Maybe I jumped the gun there. North Texas at Tulane. Who do you have?
This one's really tough. I hate to pick against our new coach, but I don't know, man. North Texas' offense is really good. And I don't know if Tulane can slow down Mestamaker, but Tulane's better against the pass than they are against the run. So that gives me a little bit of encouragement there. I'll roll with our new coach, man. I'll roll with Tulane.
Yeah, I kind of have to pick against you here. So give me North Texas, even though I don't want to pick them. I mean, they're the favorite, so
for what it's worth, I think you're probably going to get this one right. I kind of do think North Texas is going to win the game, but
so you're just doing me dirty.
It's close enough that I'm picking Tulane.
Picking old John. All right. I mean, this is one of the weirdest. Did you see the Mountain West Conference and how the standings turned out?
Yeah, they use like the BCS formula to do it, right? Isn't that how they decide who goes?
I think so. I don't know exactly. I just know there was a 4-way tie for first, second, third, and fourth in the Mountain West. UNLV was 0-2 against the 4 teams, including themselves. Yet UNLV makes the conference championship to face Boise State. It makes sense if it's BCS ties because that includes like recruiting and stuff like that. I mean, New Mexico just got screwed.
Yeah.
I feel like New Mexico should be in this game, but
Yeah.
UNLV at Boise State in Boise, Idaho. Boise, a 3.5-point favorite. Who do you have?
Boise's not very good. I mean,
no,
they really just aren't. I mean,
they dominated UNLV earlier in the year.
Yeah, man, they did. UNLV doesn't have a defense, but they can score.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Also, was Maddox Madsen playing? First of all, is Maddox Madsen hurt or benched?
I think he got okay. So I mean, he has 1,000 more yards than the next guy. So
I'm thinking he's hurt, and I think he played in that
game. So he did play against UNLV, and then Cutforth. I can't see if it's an L or not. Has been starting. Threw for 340 in his last game against Utah State. That was a good game.
Yeah, I think UNLV gets their revenge here. I'm riding with the Fighting Dan Mullins.
You know, you kind of put me against myself because I wanted to pick UNLV in this game, but I'll pick the team that won this game by what is that? 25 points in the regular season. So maybe that's a good pick for me. So give me Boise State.
Yeah, that's probably
all right. Next game I'll pick first. BYU at Texas Tech. Texas Tech slaughtered BYU earlier when they played them. I think Texas Tech's D line is just that much better. So give me Texas Tech to win this game.
Yeah, I mean they dominated this game last time. BYU couldn't do anything. Texas Tech lines of scrimmage were completely dominant. I don't really see what is possibly going to be different this time. I mean, I don't think the team that can consistently beat Texas Tech is in this conference. So I think Texas Tech should be totally fine here.
I agree there. Next game we're going to pick the best Miami team going to Western Michigan, Ford Field in Detroit. Shout out Miami of Ohio. Western Michigan's a 2.5-point favorite. I didn't think. You know who Miami of Ohio's QB is?
Yeah, it's DeQuan Finn.
Yeah, DeQuan Finn. I mean, he has tough start.
Is it still him? Because I thought I saw that he was like sitting out to prepare for the draft.
Oh, I don't know.
I think he opted out, which is crazy, but I think he did.
Yeah, I mean, their other QB has 500 yards on the year. I mean, neither of them have been good, and neither is their rushing game. Their defense just must be elite or something. I mean, they're 7-5. Let's see, 14, 7, 30, but they put 44 in that game. 17. So yeah, this played some pretty good defense. I mean, good defense, not even pretty good. God, okay, who are you picking in this one?
I mean, Western Michigan's been the best team in this conference all year. The thing for me here is like this Miami team and staff has won this conference before. They won it most recently 2 years ago, and before that in 2019 as well. Like, I think a lot of the MAC seems to be literally just like, have you been there before? So I think I gotta go Miami. I think they're the more talented team. Like they recruit better, I'm pretty sure.
That sounds right.
Western Michigan's the better team this year. Like they've been more consistent, but I feel like this is one where Miami just gets the job done. They were the preseason favorite, I believe, to win the conference.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were like pretty heavily the preseason favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take Western Michigan then if you're going to be the better team in this game. So give me Western Michigan. The next game, you know what? This is a big game. I haven't even thought about who I'm picking here. Georgia, Alabama, Mercedes-Benz. Georgia, the 2.5-point favorite. You're picking first. Who do you got in this game here?
I'm on Georgia. I'm way on Georgia. I think Georgia's improved a lot since that first game. I think Alabama's regressing a little bit. I think Georgia's getting hot at the right time. I think Alabama has some pretty clear issues that if they don't get exposed in this game, will get exposed in the playoff, I think. I think Georgia gets as much as it pains me to say it, because I don't want to see Georgia win the SEC again, man, but I think they will.
Yeah, I'm on Georgia as well. I'm not picking them to win this game though, because I can't pick with you. So give me Alabama. But yeah, I think Georgia is the second best team in the country right now, sadly. But hey, Bama owns Georgia. They beat them earlier at Georgia, so it's not something that's impossible to happen here. And yeah, I mean, not much else to say about that one. But yeah, so give me Alabama. Next game, I'll pick this one first. Indiana at Ohio State in the Big Ten Championship in Indianapolis. Give me Ohio State by a billion.
Wow,
Not by
really?
a billion. No, but by like 17 points.
Wow. I think I agree with the pick. I don't really agree with like
No, you don't.
I mean, I'm not going to pick against Ohio. I'm not going to pick Indiana here. But like, I think it's closer than you're giving it credit for. I don't know. I don't know what to think of Indiana because they just absolutely roll any bad team they play. But they've had some close calls. Just the question is, will they be able to score on this defense? And I mean, I don't really think so. Like Julian Sam played pretty well. Yeah, smoked, I don't know, but I have to pick Ohio State. Like their defense is so good. Michigan couldn't do anything in that game. Michigan's defense is pretty good, and Julian Sam was still cooking them in the snow.
What's the Heisman odds?
Great question.
They better be saying. I mean,
should honestly. If I had,
it's been Mendoza's minus 125.
Yeah, he was the favorite. He was a pretty heavy favorite for the last couple of weeks. If I had a Heisman vote right now, which I don't, my Heisman vote's going to Jeremiah Love.
I'd agree with you, but if I had to predict who's winning it, I'd predict Sayin.
Wow. I mean, I probably have to go Mendoza. I'd probably say Mendoza just because I guess this week could change it. It might just be who has the better game here. I think
Sayin's going to outplay him. I mean, again, I think Ohio State's going to win this game by multiple scores. Like, I don't know how you could predict Mendoza to – because it's not like Mendoza's ran away with it or anything. Like, it's a close race. I don't think anyone's ran away with it. So if you're like, okay, who am I giving it to? Well, this guy just went and had a great game against them who got boat race. So, yeah. Indiana don't have the roster to deal with Ohio State.
Probably not.
Last game to predict here, Duke at Virginia and Charlotte, North Carolina. Last game here, then we'll get to some chats. Who do you have in this game?
Chat's going a little, growing a little restless.
Yeah, I think I know why. But who do you have in Duke versus Virginia?
I mean, Virginia killed them 2 weeks ago. I don't really know what I think is going to be different this time. I think Virginia's just better. I think Duke's pretty flawed. And they probably really shouldn't even be in this game. I mean, I know the tiebreakers broke in their favor.
Like UNLV, I'm pretty sure they were like 0-2 against all the teams they were tied with.
Yeah. Like I'm not denying that the tiebreakers broke in their favor, but if the tiebreaker system could lead you to this result, it probably needs to be reevaluated. So yeah, I'm on Virginia, probably big, to be honest. So Virginia to the CFP. It'd be interesting.
You fell perfectly into my trap. Because it's the ACC. I'm taking Manny Diaz to win the ACC.
Okay.
You know, the best Miami coach there ever was in my lifetime. At Duke, gonna win the ACC before Mario Cristobal does it. But yeah, give me Duke in this game. I think Darian Mensah is a better quarterback than Virginia. I think Tony Elliott, the coach for Virginia, I think the pressure is gonna be a bit too much. Not saying Manny Diaz has been there before, but like he's been in a lot more high pressure situations than Tony Elliott. I mean, this is only Elliott's third year as a head coach, if I'm not mistaken. So, a lot more experience, and I also think this is just how college football works. And the way it works is the 7-5 team from the ACC is going to win the conference and not make the college football playoff. Now, does that mean Miami's getting in? No way, Jose. So, yeah, give me Duke to, they're 2.5 point underdogs here. Virginia's 2.5 point favorites. So, to pull the upset there. And, yeah, it's going to leave for a pretty fun Selection Sunday.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be fast because if JMU wins, the ACC's out. If JMU loses to Troy, Duke's in. Probably.
What if UNLV beats Boise?
Yeah, that's why I say probably. I still doubt it. I don't think UNLV has the resume, but I yeah, I don't think UNLV has a resume, but you can't ignore the possibility. But I think Duke is probably fine, or Duke is probably in if Troy beats JMU and they win. But I don't think it's going to happen because I agree with most of the chat that Virginia is going to roll in this game.
Yeah. But chat, I know how restless you are. I'm going to leave you restless for another minute because we'll be right back right after this ad break.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the Voice of College Football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
Welcome back to Florida Gators Live here, and we'll hit some chats here. And the best chat tonight, every dollar of this goes to Taylor Spierto. Dirty 30. He just graduated. Something I wanted to actually bring up now that this kind of reminds me of. I remember at the Ole Miss Florida game, it was Ole Miss's their senior night. Yeah. When they had all the seniors come out and shake hands with the coach, Lane Kiffin wasn't on the field. Lane Kiffin didn't shake hands with the players.
Wait, really?
Yeah, maybe I'm mistaken, but I'm pretty sure Lane Kiffin didn't shake hands with the players. It was someone else out there. But and it reminded me of it at the Gator game yesterday because Billy Gonzalez was out there, giving handshakes and everything to all the players that were graduating. So I wonder if that was also a pretty clear sign that Lane Kiffin was leaving no matter what.
Probably was. And I'm not sure if Florida had a real shot there at the end, but I think he had made up his mind on leaving one way or another.
Lane Kiffin is a bum. Never wanted that clown. Yeah. We need to shell out money to Dallas Wilson, Jaden Baugh, Miles Graham. I agree.
VB3. Throw him in there too.
Yeah, guys, can we keep it respectful in the chat? Yeah, VB3. I mean, I think two of those names are pretty confidently going to stay. VB3 and Miles Graham being Gators and everything. And I think Dallas is going to stay. Because he's going to stay close to home. And he's not going to Miami. I have that pretty confident. And then don't think he would go to Georgia. So it's like his options of going far from home after that, like, is he going to go 8 hour or 12 hours to Baton Rouge? Like, that would suck with Lane Kiffin being there and all, but I think Dallas is going to stay.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's hard to say just because there will be demand, but I mean, I think Florida's already giving him, I mean, we don't know exactly, but we know Florida is giving him a pretty healthy NIL amount already.
Yeah.
Give him a little raise, keep him around. I think it's doable. I mean, that's what's going to be so huge. The coming days, I think even before the coordinator hires, just the coming days, because I think, what is it? Florida officially announced it today. So the clock just started the 5 days
Thursday
before. Yeah. So Thursday players can transfer. I'm sure we'll find out if anyone's leaving. I'm sure we'll find out some before then too. But yeah, important to keep these guys around. I mean, I think you got to do everything you can to make sure that talent stays.
Yeah, where's the new 20-story parking garage going? He's obviously talking to you, Tyler. So where's it going?
Man, I mean, obviously, I can tell people are very unhappy with parking. I'm trying to think where on campus would be best to put.
I have the perfect spot.
Where is it?
Above Ben Hill Griffin.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Turn Ben Hill Griffin into a dome. It'll be louder. So that way, when they take like 10,000 seats out, it'll still be loud. Honestly, this is kind of brilliant.
And then put the parking garage above it. And the garage, that acts as the dome, it's as the ceiling. Yeah. So you're getting 2 in 1 plus.
In all seriousness, the O-Dome parking lot probably should be a massive parking garage.
Yeah, the O-Dome parking garage, like, it's really small. Like, I've parked there plenty of times.
Well, the garage is small, but I'm saying the lot, there's the big lot next to it. You could probably turn that into a bigger garage. It would probably be more efficient.
Yeah. All right, let's hit the next section of our show here because we have people asking about it anyways.
Yeah.
Florida recruiting update. So with the hire of John Sumrall, I mean, I don't know about you, but in some chats I'm in, everyone was basically saying all the recruits are going to leave because we're hiring John Sumrall. Now, that was kind of a reaction without thinking take because these guys have stuck around for an extra month and a half since Billy Napier's been fired. And now Lane Kiffin, if he was hired, we could have blamed players staying for Lane Kiffin being the next coach here. But really, a big reason is because of money.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, John Sumrall, we've talked about it, kind of seen some comparisons to Dan Campbell or Dan Lanning, like where these are infectious personality guys. And Dan got me confused. John Sumrall is going to rub off pretty well on some players. So I don't want to take away all the credit there, but a good reason for it is probably because of our NIL offers. But I think the biggest win so far, in my opinion, has probably been KJ Ford, 4-star edge rusher out of Duncanville. He said he plans on signing with Florida on Wednesday. So anything can happen. I've seen recruits commit and flip within a 3-day period. So anything can happen, but you got to feel good that you're going to be keeping one of your highest rated players there in KJ Ford and kind of a unicorn player there. You're getting an edge rusher out of Duncanville, Texas to come to Florida.
Yeah.
How often does that happen?
Yeah. No, I mean, Duncanville's a powerhouse. They produce a ton of really good players. Decorian Moore from Duncanville, Harlem Berry, I believe, from Duncanville, the LSU running. Or no, not Harlem Berry. Caden Durham? Is that who's
Maybe.
from Duncanville? One of the LSU running backs is from Duncanville.
Colin Simmons.
Dominic. Yeah, Colin Simmons. Yeah, I mean, they produce a ton of really good players. And also, like, not only are you hopefully keeping Caden Durham.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, not only are you keeping one of your top prospects, hopefully, but I mean, I think that was probably the guy that I would say I thought was the biggest flip watch. Like, that was the one I was most concerned about.
He got projected to flip to Texas A&M a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Now.
So if you hold on to that, that's a huge win right off the bat. I mean, we talked about this last night a little bit, but like, let's just be real. Like, these guys have signed things and they're set to make a lot of money. And they're set to make a lot of money this year or next year. And like, you can't just go and shop yourself around. I mean, you can to an extent. If you're a 5-star top 10 recruit, you can, but you can't if you're like a mid 4-star, you're not just going to another SEC school in the next 3 days and getting more money or similar money necessarily. Like,
the
schools have budgets and they've, these classes are pretty much finalized at this point. So, it's easier said than done. Obviously you might still lose some of these guys, but it's not like the old days where you could just be like, you know what? I don't want to go to this school anymore. Like, there's a little more to it than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was actually about to say, I remember when I saw KJ Ford got projected to flip to Texas A&M, and, maybe I was wrong, but they already have, 2 highly rated edge commits committed to them. Mm-hmm. And it was a little interesting to see that KJ Ford was going to flip there because I thought if he was going to flip, it'd be to Texas Tech, which could still happen. Anything's possible, but yeah, that was an interesting thing out there. But also, CJ Brondahl was projected to flip to Ohio State, but as of this weekend, he's apparently trending to stick with Florida. So that's another big win for the Gators right there. That's 2 of your top 3 highest ranked commits. So I think the interesting one here now is Davian Gross, your top 50 recruit wide receiver, who's out of North Texas. And my thing with Gross was we got him. A lot of the Billy Napier era, we talked about his relationship building and NIL lack of maybe recruiting for Billy Napier won us some battles. But to my knowledge, Gross was a pretty high NIL guy there, and Oklahoma is where he wanted to go, but our NIL was a bit higher, a good bit higher. So he ended up committing to Florida. And I kind of assumed that with the fact that Oklahoma they're going to be in the playoffs, maybe they get some more booster money in, some more buy-in for Venables, kind of like we discussed with Billy Napier. And if he makes the playoff, Billy Napier will get or makes a big run, at least sign games. We'll get some more money to go to their NIL and go to recruiting. And maybe that's not happening with Oklahoma. And I mean, Davian Gross has always been quiet. Like even before he committed to Florida, it was like no one knew he was going to commit until he posted on his Instagram committing today. So it's like it's a good thing he's being quiet. Who knows? But I'll be interested to see if we're able to hold on to that one and keep a lot of this class together. Because after that, Jaraylin McCoy seems to be all in. Malik Morris, Will Griffin, like Tyler Chuckiam says he plans on signing with Florida. Like most of our highly rated commits are. They've said that they plan on signing with Florida or trending that way as of now. So I think we're looking at a good thing here.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a pretty solid transition class, all things considered, if it holds together. Obviously, Florida got a projection today to flip a 4-star or borderline 4-star interior lineman from Tulane, the best player in their class. This Rivals, I think, reported that he did flip, and then they walked that back.
So Stam Spiegelman reported that he flipped, but then Tyler Harden for 247 said that he talked to Tylan George, and George said he had not flipped yet. Now, he didn't say he hadn't flipped yet, but he hasn't flipped. Pause yet. And yes, he is so in the composite, he's ranked 599 as a 3-star. And it's like, yay, 3-star lineman. He still would be, he's ranked higher than 3 of our current line commits. Funny enough, but
not like Florida's landing like super highly rated offensive line prospects under the previous staff.
No, but he's ranked in the top 200 on 247's personal rankings. ESPN has like a 77 grade on him, which an 80 is a 4-star for ESPN, if I'm not mistaken. So they're pretty dang low on him, but maybe he can jump up, maybe not. I don't want to play this game, play that game anymore. I've played that plenty enough in my time, but no, Tylan George, it'll be the way it happened so quickly. Like John Sumrall got announced he's flipping to or committing. He's going to coach at Florida, and within like 30 minutes, George was picked to flip to Florida, and then it got reported a little bit. But no, we'll see what ends up happening there with Tylan George.
Yeah, Tyler needs a minute. No, yeah, I mean, I think we'll have to just see.
I saw that.
Is that true? I didn't see
Lamar
that.
Brown. I mean, he's already committed to LSU, but yeah. Kiffin, is he committed to Texas A&M? No, he's committed to LSU.
There's also been some smoke about a top 100 guy currently committed to Auburn, whose name escapes me. I don't know how real that is. Yeah. Yeah, he's an Alabama guy. I mean, Sumrall apparently has really strong connections in Alabama, like really good relations with the high school coaches there. Yeah, he was at Troy. And I think, as I think some other, I think his wife went to Auburn or something. I think that was the main connection people were flexing with that job. So he knows the state. I mean, I would expect Alabama will be a relative strength of recruiting for Florida. Obviously,
it has been for a little bit now, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's true. It has. Well. Jaden Baugh, prominent Alabama guy, right?
Marquez, yeah. No, Jaden Baugh was Georgia. He was highly recruited to Alabama, but he's from Georgia.
Okay. I'm getting him. I know P. Ryan was an Alabama guy. I mean, that was a while ago.
Yeah, P. Ryan.
But that's
Marquez Daniels.
I'm confused. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it would be 4-star linebacker / edge. Top, he's ranked 97th in the composite. It'll be a big splash. And you look back at Billy Napier when he first got here, he had 2 weeks to go out there and recruit. And he did. He ended up flipping, or not flipping. He flipped Devin Moore, who was a 4-star safety or corner out of Naples from Notre Dame. But he ended up getting Kamari Wilson to sign. He never committed anywhere, but he got Kamari Wilson, who at the time was a 5-star out of IMG, which was like 2 things that we never got. I had 5 stars and IMG players, so that was a really big deal there. But having 4 days, and to even include today for Sumrall, like he's making phone calls, I guess, and talking NIL money, but can have 3 days to go out there, keep our current players, and go out and try to recruit more players. That's a pretty big. I would consider that a pretty big deal, and I've seen a lot of people say that Sumrall can't recruit, and I'm not sure where they're getting that narrative from. Like he hasn't.
I mean,
been
they're getting the narrative
school.
from the fact that Tulane and Troy's recruiting rankings were not like stellar relative to the conference. All I'll say is that everyone who talks about him, who's worked with him and knows him, like stresses how good of a recruiter he is. So we'll just have to see.
Jaden Ball is basically a Bama lock, and we got him late from Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Which, again, we'll talk about later today when retaining players. Ball, one of them. Bama's a school. I think if he's going to go transfer, I think Bama would probably be the front runner there.
Yeah.
Also, I think it's also worth noting at Sumrall had 2 4-star wide receivers committed to Tulane. Trez Green, I think, is the one who decommitted on the 24th 6 days ago. Everyone knew Sumrall was leaving. A month ago, everyone could have predicted that Sumrall was going to leave, especially when
he had
Auburn
20
opened up.
suitors. Yeah, he had 20. It was a matter of which one he took, but yeah.
So, he had a 4-star top 250 recruit, I believe, Trez Green, out of Louisiana. He already decommitted. Maybe that's someone he brings on to come with him to Florida. It'll be a solid wide receiver commit. And also, he had a 4-star who ended up flipping to Oklahoma like a month ago and is now being projected to flip to LSU. So, Sumrall's recruited some pretty good players there to go to Tulane. So, I think we got to let Sumrall prove what he can do on the recruiting trail before we make a judgment on that.
Yeah, I mean, to say, and question, what makes you think he'll be able to recruit really well here? I mean, I don't know. Maybe he won't. I'm not like coming out here saying he's going to come in and recruit at an elite level, but I think it's a lot more complicated than just, oh, he had the 3rd best class in the American the last 3 years. Like, he's obviously not an elite recruiter. I think it's a little more complex than that. I mean, my bigger concern would be his lack of experience in the state of Florida. I think that is maybe a bit of a question because I think knowing the high school dynamic and the coaches here is a big boost. But with that being said, I mean, I think he seems to be a pretty tireless recruiter, and we'll just see.
Hayden, I have a pressing question. Did I miss it? I don't think you said it yet.
In the state of the chat, I'm a little worried what this pressing question is about to be right now.
Hey, we've seen multiple. Can we do a call-in show? Call-in show would be dope. Hey, maybe next Sunday.
Yeah,
we'll have a call-in show.
Yeah, if we have enough, like, I think it's really just if we have enough interest. Like, if we have enough interest to justify a call-in show, I'd love to do a call-in show.
Okay, I think if they had 3 more parking spaces, that is enough.
Has parking really gotten that bad? Because like I haven't gone to a game where I've had to park in a while. Like had to like find parking in a while. Is it that? You just don't? Yeah, I mean, because obviously, like I lived on campus and never had to park. What you're doing. Was that?
It's bad if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like I know spots, I know where I can park for free and tailgate and stuff like that. But like if you're from out of town and you haven't been to many Gator games, it's like you're probably gonna look at the price for parking lots and see that. And I think it's worse for students.
Yeah.
Like when Billy first got here for the football team specifically, but yeah. Did you guys see the video of? We're getting off track here. We'll finish this segment up. Florida recruiting. Is there anything we missed? I saw a question actually. I guess we'll talk this for the recruiting class. Is there anybody currently committed that we think we lose? Oh, Kakua Amua, our tight end commit, was also visiting Auburn this past weekend. Maybe he's one. I mean, it's funny because I remember we've talked about him and thinking if he's going to flip probably to a West Coast school. And if he flips to Auburn, that would be pretty funny because we're quite clearly not a West Coast school. But I'll say this: Auburn will make a trade. We'll take Jaquez Wilkes. You guys can take Kakua Amua. Deal?
I think Florida would be happy with that. Yeah, I mean, like I'm not as like tuned into recruiting as you are, but like I don't really see I haven't seen any smoke for any of these guys to flip. So
No.
I would say I'd probably be a little surprised if none of them do, but I'm not sure there's one I'm like pointing to being like, this is the guy. I mean, that one would have been KJ Ford. And I'd still probably say that's the one I'm worried about because recruits say things that are not always true.
They do say things.
So, so that's the one I'd probably still be the most worried about. But I mean, if the guy you're most worried about is the guy who's saying 72 hours before signing day, I'm signing with Florida, then okay. I mean, I guess you got to feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, absolutely. But hey, maybe Wednesday night we'll be able to do some recruiting update of video. If we do something major, even maybe a quick live stream Thursday or Wednesday or Thursday night. Just don't know what we can expect. Not even a day after we hired John Sumrall. Rob, LSU just hired Brian Kelly 2.0.
Maybe in some ways. I mean, I think they're very different in terms of approach, but in terms of what results will you get, maybe. I think that's probably underselling what Lane's about to do a little bit, but
Lake Alice is low key useless. Does that solve our parking situation?
Can we just fill Lake Alice? Like, let's just like put some gravel in there, turn it into a huge parking lot. I think that would be great. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, Rob, because we didn't ignore you, Rob. We said it got
no, we wanted to wait till after the segment. Yeah.
Did you guys see the video of Lane? I saw for all of the coordinators like Charlie Weiss and Nick Weiss and Nick Savage. Like, that's a toxic situation down there in Oxford and now Baton Rouge.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame him. It's hard for me to blame him. I'd be pretty pissed if I was an Ole Miss fan too. Did you see the leak? Did you see the leak of the team meeting? The leaked audio?
Yeah.
Man.
You have just hired Billy Napier 2.0. Hey, maybe there are some things that say it could be that. We hope not, though, Aiden. 0130.
I mean, if you hire two historically bad coaches in a row, it can be done. I mean, Auburn kind of just did it, so it's not impossible, but we'll see.
Did Nebraska go Bo Pelini, Scott Frost, then Matt Rule?
No, they went Bo Pelini, Mike Riley, Scott Frost, Matt Rule.
So they went Mike Riley, Scott Frost, which Mike Riley was a bad hire, right?
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
And then Scott Frost
still worked out better than Scott Frost, though.
Was he better than Scott Frost? Okay.
He made a bowl, which Scott Frost didn't do.
Oh, yeah, that's true. And hey, Scott Frost, 5-7 year one back at UCF.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I don't feel very good about the trajectory of that hire or program right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't know what that's going to be. I mean, honestly, I think they did better than I expected. I mean, I'll take a look at their overall schedule.
I mean, they beat some of the worst teams in the Big 12. Like, they managed to avoid losing to most of the worst teams they played, but like...
they beat West Virginia. They beat UNC. They got UNC early in the year. And, oh my God, they barely beat Oklahoma State by 3 points. So, they got 3 games where they probably could have lost or won, and it's like 50-50 bad teams. So, yeah, probably that was like best case scenario for UCF this season.
Yeah. And Aiden, we talked about this earlier. We are both very much on would prefer Sumrall to Golesh. But
yeah, Aiden, maybe you should just like
we got 6-7s in chat now.
What is this in reference to? At least where is the 6-7 coming from? Oh,
I don't even know.
How many parking spots actually had? At least 6 or 7. Or 67, just if you're Golesh never won his own conference. That's true. That's like winning the conference isn't exactly what I point to with Golesh, but like the fact that he had a talented enough roster to at least like win 8 games at USF in the first 2 years, and he went 7-6
twice. Yeah,
7-6.
And they choked this year.
They choked
the inside track. Like
they lost to Navy.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Like you beat Florida, like you did the thing you had to do. Like all you had to do was only lose once in American play, and you couldn't get the job done.
Yeah. I would love to hear you read my comments. Spikes got annihilated by ads. Oh, yeah. But let's get into our final segment here today.
Yeah.
What does Sumrall need to do to succeed here at UF? I think that's the question everyone's going to be asking because you just fired Billy Napier, and you looked a lot of what Billy Napier did, and it's kind of a lot of what we wanted him to do. We want him to go and get actual recruits, not players that are going to be here for the spring and then transfer before they even take a snap or they. But before they even play a game here at UF and Dana Mullen and his takes there. But no, I think Billy Napier really brought up the level of this roster. And what does John Sumrall need to do more than just elevate the roster, but actually win games? I think the clear and easy number one thing to point out here is offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think he has to go out there. He said it himself. He needs to go out there and get an offensive coordinator that's going to be explosive. You know, that's what you have to do at UF. And I agreed. I talked about it last night. I talked about it last night when I said that you got to use your weapons. You got to play to the talent on your team. And at UF, you're going to have speed. You're going to have receiver talent. I mean, you're going to have Jaden Ball, who's a great running back. Like, you got to get an explosive offense. Like, I think Buster Faulkner is a name that was interesting. I've heard, and I haven't heard really since. But his offense is a ground and pound style offense. But Jamal Haynes is a great running back, and he breaks a lot of big runs for Georgia Tech. Explosive doesn't just have to be through the air; it can also be on the ground. And if you can go get an offensive coordinator that's going to be able to use your elite running back in Jaden Ball and get your weapons the ball in Vernell Brown, Dallas Wilson, who's ever here next year, we'll have to see. But we'll have to see who's here next year. But I think you need to get a coach who's going to be able to take advantage of the players around this offense and not throw out your two tight end sets that you have two tight ends that are not good.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think the OC is like the first main thing. And really, I think, all of it, like the staff in general is so important here. I mean, I think for me personally, I really think Billy's staff, I think Billy's first primary mistake was in how he built his initial staff. A lot of those guys didn't work out. A lot of them were guys he brought with him that didn't work out. Some of them were guys he hired that didn't work out. But, I think you got to nail the staff. You got to nail your initial staff. Mm-hmm. I think the OC is the biggest piece of that. But I think DC is important too, because ultimately, I don't think we want, even though Sumrall is a defensive guy and I think has a good track record as a defensive mind, even though he's never been a defensive coordinator. That's, I think, a defensive coordinator in the SEC.
Wasn't he at Kentucky?
Was he a DC? I thought he was linebackers coach.
I'm pretty sure he might have been co-DC.
Maybe he was. I don't think he's been a play calling defensive coordinator, at least at the power conference level. Maybe not even. I'm not even positive he was when he was co-DC at Tulane. If he was
co-DC at Kentucky.
Yeah, you're right. His last year at Kentucky. So I don't think he called plays, but I could be wrong. Point being, though, like I think hiring a good staff, both coordinators, is obviously really important. I think establishing recruiting. I mean, because I think he's kind of built a reputation as a portal guy. He's kind of built a reputation as a portal guy. I don't think that's necessarily a bad strategy. I think Florida probably would be better served to use the portal more than they have, as Tyler's camera is off. But no, I think we'd be better served using the portal more than we did under Billy Napier. But at the same time, I do think with the talent in the state of Florida and just what we've seen from like how things have gone down at FSU with Mike Norvell, you don't want to be a staff a roster that's built entirely through the portal. So I think Sumrall being able to adjust to that and kind of shift the focus from portal first to recruiting first and use the portal to supplement, I think that's going to be a key change. And I think understanding the job he's stepping into, I think understanding that Florida fans are pretty skeptical with him right off the bat, and he's going to kind of have to earn that trust. And I think, understanding the place he's at, like like we said earlier, with his very first comment on the job being, I understand that we need an explosive offense and need to hire a coordinator who can do that. So I think that's a good start, but obviously you need more of it. I mean, I think those are all the things, like, it's a long list of things that I think this previous staff didn't do right, but I think, it's just everything.
Yeah, I think something else that maybe isn't necessarily on John Sumrall, but it's going to be partly on Sumrall, but getting this booster support, getting the NIL money, getting your what's it called? The what's it? Rev share. Sorry. Getting your rev share, like he's going to need to get it from his boosters. And now Billy Napier didn't have perfect support from the boosters. It was not perfect, but he had enough to not go for it, or to not be 3-4 by the time he fired him. He had enough not to lose the USF or Arkansas and Vanderbilt. Like, he had enough to at least be winning 8-9 games, and hopefully you can elevate yourself past that. But no, Sumrall needs to prove that he can win with what he has, and I think what he has is enough to get you to that playoff conversation. And we'll see what he's going to have. We can't say for sure, but Sumrall's going to need to win those games to where boosters buy back in. The support that was rumored to be there for Lane Kiffin and all the NIL money and rev share that we were going to give him, if John Sumrall can win enough games and prove to get there, I don't see why the boosters wouldn't go and put that money into him instead. And that's how you push yourself to become a elite program that's there year in and year out, like the Georgias, Alabamas, and Ohio States, and Oregon.
Yeah, and I think, frankly, I mean, it's hard for me to say this because it's not my money. I'm not the one giving lots of money to this program. But, I mean, the boosters need to be committed regardless because, like I said earlier, like, you don't win without that commitment, without the resources to win. Like, I understand maybe you don't give him the $30 million NIL suite if, before you see some proof of concept. But ultimately, like, you got to be committed to this guy. And, whether it's what your first choice was or not, you got to give him an opportunity to win, because I can tell you Florida's never going to get back to where it was if they're not spending at a top 10, maybe even top 7 level relative to the rest of the country, and certainly need to be top 4 or 5 and, top 3 to 5 in the SEC if you're going to be routinely competing to win the conference.
And of course, Sumrall, of course, is going to need to add more parking spots. That's the one thing that is going to determine everything. But no, it's mostly going to be what he does on the offensive end, and who he hires as a defensive coordinator is going to matter. If you can go out there and get a big time defensive coordinator, I think the talent's currently there. To where if you hire an elite DC, to where you're going to have a good defense in year one. I mean, I think it could be even better than it was this year, which the defense is really why we even won 4 games and could have won more games this year. So I think if you go out there and hire an elite DC, maybe that makes you competitive. I mean, I'm pretty confident that we're going to expand to 16 teams. I feel like I'd be shocked if we didn't, especially after this year.
Sure.
So if you can get it, and you have on paper right now, your schedule looks easy enough to where if you go out and hire an elite defensive coordinator, you can go out there and be competing for a playoff spot at 9-3 in year one. And I'm not saying that we're perfectly together and John Sumrall has us on the track to win national titles, but in year one, you could be out there competing to do something that Billy Napier hadn't done or hadn't even got close to. So I think that's something that's going to matter a lot for what Sumrall needs to do to be able to win at a high level here at UF.
Yeah, and I think the idea, like the concept of lengthy rebuilds, is kind of a thing of the past in some ways. I mean, teams, coaches are finding it pretty easy to come in and succeed right off the bat with the tools available to them. So, yeah, if you nail the coordinator hires, if you're able to maintain at least the majority of the talent on this roster that we're hoping will come back next year, and you are able to supplement that with some portal guys, especially with what you're losing on like defense, on the offensive line, even at some of the skill positions to an extent. Obviously, we'll see how much you retain there. If you can do that, then I think you can compete immediately. I'm not sure I would say this team is like a competitor to like win the SEC next year. I'm not sure you can do that kind of jump in one year, but I think you can immediately become a competitive team, immediately become a team that's pushing for 8-9 wins in the regular season. And I mean, that would be a great year one. I mean, I don't think, no matter how you feel about the Sumrall hire, I think if he wins 8 or 9 games next year, I think everyone's probably feeling pretty good about where we're at, the trajectory of the program. I mean, certainly I would be.
Yeah. Josh Pate said that Lane told him we turned Lane off with our behind the scenes stuff. I mean, Scott Strickland probably is that. I mean, I also know Scott Strickland has a history with Chris Kiffin. I wonder if that also plays a part of that there. But I mean, we both agree Strickland needs to go.
Yeah.
And we need to find a better AD. I mean, I'd go take Keith Carter at Ole Miss right now if we could. So if it's not a problem for Sumrall and he wins, then I guess you go forward. But right now, it looks like Scott Strickland's probably gonna be a big reason why this program isn't on the national level right now.
Yeah, but we'll just see too. I mean, I think, look, if Sumrall is who the people that are really in on Sumrall, mostly non-Gator fans, but people that know him or have worked with him or just covered him, the people that are all in on Sumrall really do believe he's like the next Kirby Lanning, like psycho, defensive-minded, just super passionate, like motivator guy. If that's who he is, then I think you can get back there, because I think Florida is pretty committed financially. I mean, we'll see how the money works out in terms of booster commitment, but if they were actually in position to offer Lane what they were reportedly offering Lane, like finances are not going to be an issue here. So.
Yeah, it definitely wouldn't be if that's the case. But no, we just need to see Sumrall not be naive, not make self-killing mistakes like Billy Napier did. And I could see Sumrall taking us to a place that we haven't been since Dan Mullen, and hopefully even further than that, and maybe bring us a national title. It's too early to predict anything like that, but I hope we see it from Sumrall. It's getting tiring losing a lot. I mean, it was nice cheering for us to win against FSU and seeing Jaden Bagu for 266, but I don't want to see us just win 4 games. I want to multiply that by 3.
Yeah. No, absolutely. No, but I mean, I think, I think we won't know because obviously we've got to play the games, but I think in a month or two, I think we'll have a pretty good feel for how he's approaching this job. I mean, if he comes out and just brings his entire Tulane staff and has an underwhelming portal period and loses a couple of commits, then I don't think any of us are going to be sitting here feeling great, even though that doesn't mean that he couldn't still work out. But I don't think either of us would be feeling great about his first offseason if that's the case. But if he makes a couple coordinator hires that impress us and brings in some talent and retains the rest, I think we're all going into next season pretty optimistic that you can turn things around pretty quick here. 4-8 to 8-4, bigger turnarounds have happened before. That's not exactly unbelievable.
Yeah.
So
I got actually a pretty interesting question I just thought of. Lagway, at this point, yay or nay, should he be the quarterback next year?
Probably lean yay, just because I question if you can get someone better. Or at least someone with more potential, but I don't know, man, because last night just shows it's the perfect DJ Lagway experience. It's like watching Trevor Lawrence on Sundays, but on steroids, where there are some really nice things, but man, the bad is so bad, and he's still mechanically in a really rough spot. I would say I'm probably out on Lagway unless whoever the OC hire is a premier quarterback developer, really elite track record.
Say you go and get Mason Heinschel, not Cade Bell, and he's the offensive coordinator. Do you think Mason Heinschel is quarterback at Pitt right now? If he would leave from Pitt, do you think he would be a better choice for BRQB than Lagway?
Probably got to say yes, right? Just given the results.
Yeah.
I mean, Lagway has a higher ceiling, but Mason Heinschel is a true freshman this year, and he's playing better than Lagway has for any consistent stretch of his career so far. So,
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I just hope that Lagway's success isn't hinging on Lagway. I hope Sumrall's success isn't hinging on Lagway for 1 year. Because I think there's a possibility where Sumrall doesn't make it past a year. If he gets the wrong OC hire, Lagway's our QB and he struggles again, and we hire a president, and that president's like, okay, it's time for Strickland to go, and you bring a new AD in, and new AD is like, hey, let's get a new coach here. Like, I don't think it's likely, but I don't think it's impossible for that to happen.
Sorry, say that one more time. For what to happen?
Sumrall only makes it 1 year here because he hires the wrong OC. Lagway's still the quarterback. I mean, it doesn't really matter who the quarterback is if the offense just struggles. But if you hire the wrong OC in, we finally hire a president, and that president decides to fire Strickland and you bring a new AD in, and it's like, hey, you brought a guy that no one really – a lot of people at Florida didn't want to bring him in, or a lot of the fans, I should say. It's like, might as well just – year one of a new AD, just kind of like what the LSU Scott Woodward did, where he just kind of resets everything right away. So I could see that scenario happening.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's very likely. I think year one would have to be a disaster. But like, if Strickland's out, I mean, if you get a new AD in here, I think all bets are off, because a new AD is not going to have any loyalty to a coach he didn't hire. I mean, Strickland fired McElwain after, I think McElwain had only had one football season under Strickland when Strickland fired him. So, you know, it certainly is something that I would say to monitor Scott Strickland's status. But I don't think Scott Strickland necessarily is going anywhere unless it's to the point where, like, it's very obvious Sumrall was a failure of a hire. I think in all likelihood they would go together at that point.
Yeah, I agree. Oh man,
y'all are killing me in the chat. We can't put most of these on the screen, but y'all are absolutely killing me.
What Tyler do you prefer?
Vote now. We should drop a poll. We should drop a poll in the chat.
Yeah, can I drop a poll? How do I do that? I want to do it. How do I do it? I already know what the results are going to be. I don't think I can drop a poll from here.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know exactly how to do it, to be honest with you. But
are you mad or laughing? Tyler with a real beard.
Oh, I'm laughing. Oh, this is great. I'm having a great time. This is awesome.
With a better beard left, obviously.
Oh man.
I saw there were 30 comments in like the last 3 minutes of our segment there. And I was like, okay, we're not getting to that comment. Lane is going to win chips at LSU. How did we whiff? Scott Strickland. Yeah. Gary Conjured, maybe.
Yeah. Pretty
Tyler
simple.
said it here first. Sumrall winning at least 10 this year. Yep.
I mean, I'd say no context, not knowing what the roster looks like, not knowing what the schedule is actually going to shape up to like really be. I'd say my expectations like 8 next year. I want to win 8 in the regular. I'd say 8-4 regular season is kind of what I'm hoping for. I would call that progress, or I'd call that good progress. Anything better than that, I think, is a fantastic season. That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Here's what I was trying to find. The baseball team told me Saban is coming. Is this true?
Saban DC. Who says no? Who says no?
I don't say no.
I think Nick Saban says no, but other than that, I don't know who says no.
8-4 would be the pinnacle of Sumrall's career here. I would hope not.
I mean, 8-4. I mean, look, given the talent on the roster, like 7-5 should be the floor. Like, it really should be.
I'd agree. Protest here is I mean, it was supposed to happen today. I don't think it did.
The Arkansas
I'm pretty sure you're talking about Florida because there was it went around a little bit. It didn't get around like the Arkansas one did, but
yeah. I thought you were talking about the fire Ryan Silverfield school walkout.
I saw that one too.
That they had today.
Yeah. We're not falling for this, Austin.
Yeah, nice try. Nice try.
Sumrall is weak, a total fraud. Hey, spell his name first. Spell his name correctly.
Yeah. Man, the amount of times I saw people spell both his name, Scott Strickland's name, and Lane Kiffin's name are like the trifecta of most misspelled last names I've seen in the last few months.
Don't worry, Sumrall's gonna replace Ball with Mekhi Hughes.
I mean, honestly, like legit, if Ball leaves, probably. I mean, wouldn't you think?
I would
Probably.
be
Like,
shocked.
I'd be curious to know the inside story of why Mekhi Hughes didn't work out at Oregon, though, because he like never even saw the field.
Yeah. Gary Condren. This is a problem here. Gary Condren. I don't know if this is probably a joke, but Gary Condren made another post on a message board. We need to get our guys off message boards.
Yeah, please. Thank you. Like, what is this? What kind of Mickey Mouse operation? No offense, but like, what kind of Mickey Mouse operation is this? Where you know what? You're right. I shouldn't have hedged. Full offense. What kind of Mickey Mouse operation is this where boosters are like dropping inside scoops like they're Zach Abelverdi on the message boards? Like, what is this? This needs to stop.
Oh, God.
Like, Gary Condrens, please stop posting through it, my friend. Please stop posting through it.
How do you spell Kiefin wrong? I don't know. I can never. I've never spelled anything wrong once in my life. Who cares what his name is? He's going to get fired. I posted that. Devin, hey, I didn't make a bet, but I took an over-under with someone for fun. Devin Moore and DJ Lagway. I said both are going to play more than 7.5 games or 8.5 games. They both play all 12.
Wait, Devin Moore. For a minute, I thought Devin Moore missed a game. I guess he didn't. Yeah.
He got hurt on the first drive against Mississippi State.
Okay. Yeah.
And he also got hurt pretty early last night or against.
Frankly, Lagway probably should have missed a game. Lagway probably should not have played in every game this year. Guy was pretty clearly not 100% for most of the year, but yeah.
Wait. It's him.
They want you to take off the hat, Tyler. They want the hat. They want the hat to come off. There we go.
I wasn't wearing a hat last night.
Yeah.
I wasn't wearing the hat last night. I feel
like you're 50-50 on the hat. The hat is sometimes there, sometimes not.
Yeah. I left it in the car. That's why I didn't wear it. But, Oh, this is a good question. Richard Hawkins. We didn't even get the best group of 5 guy.
Disagree.
Who are your being listed best GO5 guy?
Who do I think?
Richard. I think it's Sumrall.
I think it probably is Sumrall. Eric Morris, you could have talked me into, but I think Sumrall's full track record is still better.
No.
I'm a big Eric Morris guy, though. I really like Eric Morris. I think that was an excellent hire for Oklahoma State.
From steak to spam. Oh, I mean, I assume you mean goalish.
I really don't get. We've talked about this a couple times on this show now, but like I don't really get what the preoccupation with Alex Golesh is beyond the offense. Which, frankly, like they score a lot of points. I don't love the way their offense like looks, though. Maybe I'm nitpicking here. I don't know. How do you feel about that?
I'm sorry. You need to say that again.
I was just saying, like, their offense is good statistically. Like, they put up a lot of points. I don't really like the way it like looks, though.
USF's?
Yeah. I don't necessarily think USF's offense is like what Florida ideally wants to have.
It kind of, I was about to say, it kind of reminds me of Tennessee, which I don't really love that Tennessee offense, but of course it is Tennessee's offense. It's what he learned under Josh Heupel. But yeah, I would agree with you right there. I think it's kind of slow, and it's just what Tennessee runs. And I've never been a big fan of Tennessee. They do a lot of stat padding to make it look better. I think they have a good QB too. Like if Tennessee or USF doesn't have a good QB, I mean, look at last year with Nico.
Yeah,
that offense was just. I mean, it was just Dylan Sampson. If they didn't have Dylan Sampson, Tennessee would have been screwed offensively last year.
Oh man.
Okay. And then what is the with Summerman? I'm not sure if I understand this.
Yeah, I said what's the preoccupation with Golesh? He said what's the preoccupation with Sumrall? Like the preoccupation with Sumrall is that he has a much better track record as a head coach.
Yeah.
It's 40
That's
and
true.
12 versus 23 and 15 or something like that, right?
Let's see, because +1 and now are they 9-3 this year?
Yes.
So +6. So he's +8 as a coach. While
23
Sumrall's
and 15.
what is he?
Yeah, 23 and 15.
Yeah, you got it nailed on. And then Sumrall's what, 42
40 and 12, I think. 40 and 12. 40 and 11, maybe. Either 40 and 11 or 40
11.
and 12. Who's my favorite Gator of
Okay.
all time? It's a good question. I'd probably say Percy. I mean, I came of age during the Urban Meyer teams, so it's gonna be someone from those teams. I mean, at the time, who had the biggest impact on me as a kid? It was obviously Tebow. I mean, I'm from Jacksonville. I went to the same high school Tebow played for, actually. So I always have liked Tebow. But what's your favorite Gator team of all time? I mean, non-championship teams. Actually, maybe it might be 2019. I really enjoyed the 2019 team.
Yeah, I probably agree with you. I mean, that Auburn game was, and even the LSU game was so fun. I was at those games, and Georgia, we had some fun games. Even the 2 we lost, and we had some big wins. So I'd probably agree. 2020,
2020 kind of sucked, honestly. 2020 was
That's
fun
what I was saying.
But
it kind of
not being able to stop anyone was miserable.
Yeah. What's your favorite food? Quick.
What's my favorite food? Oh man. Probably veal parmesan. That's probably what I'd say.
Oh, that's not what I was expecting. Cool. I was expecting something. I just wasn't expecting veal parmesan specifically.
I don't know. You asked me what meal, if I had to pick a random meal to have, probably veal parmesan.
Pico Voss Man 23. What Porto QB you want? Oh, I like Marcus Stokes.
I mean, try for JKS if you can, obviously.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think he said he's staying or plans to stay. I feel like I read that somewhere, but
we will see.
What's your favorite parking lot?
What's your favorite parking lot? Man, there's so many to choose from. There's so many good options to choose from.
Yeah, personally, I'm gonna have to go with Oh, I actually have an answer for this. What is it? I don't know. Okay. Who do you want as
Disney
OC?
World parking lot? Who do I want as OC? I guess it depends who's a realistic option. I mean, I'd say of the names I think are gettable, I'd probably say Dable. Of the names that have come up, I would prefer Dable to Cade Bell, but I think I would like both of them.
Yeah, I probably agree.
Beard don't
David Reese. Wait, what happened? Disney World parking lot. What were you laughing at?
Yeah. I was laughing at. I said without a beard. Beard, don't you answer?
David Reese, 17-year Gator legend.
True.
Holy goat answer.
I'm not sure which one that was too, but I'll take it.
Probably your veal parmesan, if I had to guess.
I hope so. That is
really excited about the Tulane coaching staff too. Come on, I don't think he's bringing the whole Tulane coaching staff.
No, if he does, I'll be disappointed with that, 100%, and we'll talk about it on the show. If he does what Billy does and just brings his entire G5 staff, no, I don't think that would be very good.
Steak or spam? I don't think that's a real question. Favorite skate parking lot? Been there.
I've also been there.
Dan Mullen, OC. Got a fake lab meat coach. Lake lab meat coach. Nobody but the USCF parking lot. There is photograph proof. No. What are y'all smoking? Must be good. No. Is there anything else?
Yeah, we're gonna have to pull the plug on this at some point. I don't know if this is gonna slow down. No, I mean
that's it.
Anything else on the
yes,
wide...
make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you do that.
Yeah. No, we've covered a wide range of topics tonight. Yeah.
I didn't say in. We said the parking lot. We specifically said the parking lot.
You got to see Tyler Whitfield's selfie from inside Cafe Risque.
No, outside. We said the parking lot.
No,
and that
no,
photo
you
does
took a selfie
exist.
inside. Nope.
Oh, that's not true. I'll not allow those accusations.
The slanderous accusations.
How do we donate money to only Tyler with
I'll
a
drop my
beard?
Venmo down below if you guys want.
Go check out Tyler's work on The Wire.
Actually, if you want to help me, please do. Yeah, please read collegesportswire.usatoday.com if you want to help me out financially.
Do you guys ever watch the old ball? I honestly don't.
No, I don't either. I'm sure he's got some good insight though.
Yeah. I don't know.
OnlyFans, DM for OnlyFans. We'll we'll pass that one along.
Can we remove boring Tyler from the stream? Yeah.
Get the light. Yeah, if you guys read my articles, I can afford to turn the lights on. Please help me. If you guys want to actually know why my lights are off, it's because this overhead light looks terrible. So front lighting myself instead of backlighting myself.
As a program trying to win championships in football, it's over for Florida. You need a modern Urban Meyer type of coach. I feel like that's kind of what Sumrall is supposed to be. Like a general manager type of, not necessarily the offensive coordinator or defensive type of player. What do you think, our coach?
Yeah, I mean, he almost is seems like a defensive Brent Key a little bit in that sense.
Yeah.
Like Brent Key was never like a stud coordinator or anything like that. He's just a ball coach who makes pretty good hires and runs a good organization. I think that's kind of Sumrall's bag.
Tyler compared Sumrall. You can compare anybody to anybody in any way.
It's true. It's a free country. You can compare anyone to anyone in this world.
Said it here first. Yeah, replace those lights ASAP.
Yep.
I'm reading an article right now.
I appreciate that, Trace McSorley.
Shout out Trace McSorley.
Legendary Penn State quarterback Trace McSorley.
What did I say? Or what did Tyler say? I don't know.
I don't know what either of us are saying at this point, to be honest with you. Sorry to hear that.
Can you turn your lights off? The boring Tyler. Let's see. No.
Ooh, that was spooky.
We'll not be doing that. No, but how much longer do we want to go with this?
I think we probably need to. We're hitting the 2-hour mark here. I think it's about time to wrap this up. But we appreciate y'all being so engaged tonight. It's been fun.
If we have the same engagement, we'll do a call-in show next Sunday night.
Yeah.
But we'll have to be pretty strict with that.
Yeah, please. Yeah, if we do a call-in show for you guys, please don't abuse it. That's all that we ask.
Yeah, you know what sucks? We didn't have George.
We didn't have George. Our boy George wasn't here tonight. Hopefully George stops in if we do a call-in show. The pleasure's been all mine, Trace McSorley. The pleasure's been all mine.
All right, but no, thank you guys so much for watching and being engaged tonight in this show. I hope you guys have a great week. We'll see you guys maybe Wednesday or Thursday if there's some big breaking recruiting news that ends up happening throughout the week. This is one of your better shows. Hey, it's not because of us. It's all because of you guys.
Yeah, the chat has carried this one tonight. We appreciate it.
There we go. Tyler W. the GOAT. It's nice to win one. But no, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next week. And as always, go Gators.